Welcome back, guys. This is part 4 of the series on installing Debian and configuring and getting your theming done and drivers and everything that you need to get your Debian Linux system off the ground. So this episode 4 here should be the last. It's wrapping everything up and getting down to just some final system tray utilities to be installed, and also how to set your computer up for gaming in Linux. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install some system tray utilities that I use all the time. So we're going to open up a terminal and we are going to install the following utilities. First one will be psensor. The next one is going to be Redshift. It's Redshift-GTK. Then Solar, Clipit, Synapse, and Caffeine. Now let me explain what each of these system tray utilities do. psensor will monitor your fan speeds and your temperatures, your graphics processor temperature, your CPU temperature, even your hard drive temperatures. Redshift GTK adjusts the color of your monitor so that it works off your latitude and longitude, usually sets itself up automatically, and it will start to change the color of your monitor as the day progresses, so that by the time night rolls around and you're in your house under incandescent or fluorescent lights, it will adjust the color of the monitor to reduce eye strain. And it's an automatic process working off your latitude and longitude. Solar, if you have Logitech wireless mouse or keyboard, that will monitor your battery charge levels. Clipit is a clipboard monitor. Synapse is a basically a application launcher and search tool. And then Caffeine helps delays the onset of your screensaver in case you're playing a game or watching a movie on your computer. It'll keep your screensaver from kicking in. So let's go ahead and install those, and hopefully they're all readily available within Debian Testing. And it looks like they are, so let's just go ahead and finish installing that. And once we get those installed, I'll show you how to make sure that they're set up to start every time that you boot your computer. And these normally don't take too long to finish, and that's pretty much done. Okay, so most of them are going to be in your accessories category. So there's Caffeine. We're going to start that, and I'll show you how to get that going in 1 second. And let's do Clipit. You can see it popped into the system tray. And the next one will be Redshift. And you can see how that popped in. What we're going to do is right click there and click Auto Start. That's all we have to do on that one. And we've got Solar. Now Solar will populate into your system tray. All you need to do to activate it is to unplug your Logitech receiver dongle. It's a little USB dongle, so if you unplug that and plug it back in, that icon's going to change. You can see it change to a battery. And if I right click it, you can see it's got my trackball and my keyboard, and it'll keep track of the battery levels. And the last one, well, the last one in the accessories tab is Synapse. And it looks like Synapse is having a little bit of a difficulty, but sometimes you need to log out and log back in. And then the final one will be pSensor. And pSensor, as you can see, it populated into the system tray. All I'm going to do is resize there's Synapse, and I'm going to move that to the bottom right and set my preferences in startup to launch on session startup and hide the window. And as you can see, it's monitoring pretty much everything. Temperatures of the cores of my CPU, GeForce, my graphics processor, temperatures, my fan level, CPU usage, free memory, and then individual temperatures on the drives that I have installed. So those are all useful utilities. Now for caffeine, what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the session and startup out of your system settings configuration. Then click on Application Auto Start. You can see caffeine is activated. However, that's not going to put the system tray icon in your system tray. You need to deactivate that. Click Add, and we're going to replace that with a command of caffeine dash indicator, and that will put the icon in your system tray. So we've got clip it, we have pSensor, Redshift is set up, Solar is set up. I don't see Synapse. Let me now the hotkey on Synapse is Control H, and there it is in the system tray. All I'm going to do is right click, go to Preferences, and click Startup on Login. Okay, so once Synapse is in your system tray, just right click it and go into Preferences and set it to Startup. This is the caffeine that we just created. Now we should have pretty much everything. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, clip it 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's it. I think that was all that we 6. Okay, Redshift, Solar, pSensor, clip it, Synapse. Oh, and caffeine's not there. It will be next time we reboot, or next time we log out and log back in. You'll see caffeine in your system tray based on that caffeine indicator that we put into Application Auto Start. So those are the system tray utilities that I use on a regular basis. If you're using Debian Testing with the XFCE desktop, I'm going to show you, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, I'm going to show you the easy way to stop screen tearing. If you go into your settings, click Session and Startup, Application Auto Start, go down to Add. And what you're going to do is you're going to add a new startup application. We're going to put a command in there that will help your NVIDIA graphics system eliminate screen tearing. So I usually just abbreviate screen tearing fix, and then I'll put this in the show notes, this command right up the top here. You'll copy and paste that in. Now you won't need that second one. This first one up top should do it for you. So you paste it and then you click OK. That's all you need to do. Now you can see I've already got it set up. So if I click edit, you'll see that I've already got it set up. Okay, so once you do that, you'll be able to watch YouTube videos and things like that without any screen tearing. It'll take care of it for you. The next time you log out, log back in, all of these startup commands will become effective. Okay, so we've got our utilities set up, we've got screen tearing taken care of. The next thing we're going to do is set up gaming. Now, the first thing you need to do is make sure that your proprietary graphics drivers are installed correctly. You'll need that to do any type of in-depth gaming. The next thing you want to do, and I'm going to open up a terminal. The next thing you'll want to do is make sure that if you're running a 64-bit system that you enable 32-bit libraries. And all you got to do is copy this command and paste it. Press enter, enter your password, and you're all set. The next thing we need to do is we need to install Microsoft fonts. So we're going to copy and paste that next command, and I'll put this into the show notes. You'll be able to just follow along with it. Okay, so this is going to hopefully install quickly. Looks like it's moving along quickly. Now when this is done, we're going to install some programs that we need in order to bring in the necessary codecs for gaming within Debian. Okay, so that's done. Now we want to just copy and paste this third line. You're going to need Wine Development, Winetricks, Steam, VLC, and GIMP. And again, these bring in additional codecs that are helpful for gaming in Debian Linux. Okay, so I'm just going to let that install. Now once that's done, I am going to reboot just to make sure that everything is settled in and configured properly. And that's mainly because of the Microsoft Core fonts. The recommendation whenever you install those is to reboot. So as soon as that's done, I'm going to go ahead and, well, you'll be asked to OK the Steam license and then agree to the terms. And then I'm going to quickly reboot, and as soon as that's done rebooting, we'll finish the next few steps. Now these instructions that I'm going to go over with you work in both 32 and 64-bit systems. However, if you have any problems, especially with Battlenet, then you can go over and switch your 64-bit to a wine to a 32-bit wine prefix. These are the instructions. There are 3 commands you need to enter in terminal. Okay, so I am going to reboot, guys, and I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, and I am back after rebooting, and so we're going to move on with the next process. So we're going to install some additional codecs. So you're going to copy and paste this particular command, and I've already installed it, as you can see. And so now we are going to run wine config cfg. Now when you run that, it may start to install some other applications. In this case it did not, so you can see it's set up for Windows XP and that's what you want. And then you're going to click libraries and you can see it's empty right now, but that won't be the case in a few minutes. So we're going to eliminate that now. Now, as I said, everything works in a 32 or 64-bit, but if you have any issues with your 64-bit with Battlenet, then run these commands to switch over to a 32-bit wine prefix. Once you do that, you will need to run wineconfig and these wine tricks, core fonts, hosts, and vcrun 2015. You'll need to run those again. So I'm going to skip this right now because I don't believe I'll have any issues with my 64-bit system. And I'm going to run the first wine tricks command. And that's going to go in, basically it's going to install the same Microsoft fonts but within Wine so that the ability to run the games in a Microsoft Windows Wine prefix will be facilitated. And that's done. Next we're going to run wine tricks hosts. And that's usually quick. And the last one is vcrun 2015. Now you should have a window pop up right there. Check the box and click install. Once it finishes, click close. It's going to go ahead and finish installing. And then you're going to run wineconfig again. Click your libraries, and now you can see all of the libraries that are necessary have been installed. Now if you're going to play Diablo 3 within the Battlenet application, copy and paste this last one in. You already have all these four, but you're going to need that one. So we'll copy, paste into that window, click add, click apply, click OK. Okay, so that should enable the ability to install Battlenet. So now we're going to expand that, and I'm going to go to Games and Steam and get Steam going. Now Steam's going to download for a while, so we'll just move that out of the way. Okay, now in my downloads folder you'll see the Battlenet. Now this is a Windows installer, but we're going to run it within Wine. You can get that by going online. So just open your browser and go to Battlenet. Just do a search, Google search Battlenet, and you'll see the downloads clients. Click on that. Once the window comes up, go down and don't install the individual game installers. Do the Blizzard app installer right there under Windows. Click that and it'll ask you where to put it. I'm not going to do it again because I've already downloaded it. Okay. Okay, now if you see this failed to load Steam UI.so, let me see if I have a fix for that. And I believe I do. See this? Okay, we'll see if I'm able to install that. This should fix it. I'm going to copy and I'm going to put it in the show notes. And we'll copy and paste that. Let me save that so I'll make sure it gets to you guys on the YouTube video. Okay, so all I need to do is open a terminal, paste this in. Hopefully this installs. And you'll need to install that just to make sure Steam functions properly in your Debian system. Now once this finishes, I'm going to run Steam again, and as you can see, Steam is functioning. So I'll leave that alone. What you'll do is once you install that file and activate Steam, just log into your Steam account and you'll be good to go. Okay, so this Battlenet installer, we're going to right click that. We're going to open with other application, and hopefully Wine is listed. And it's not really listed the way it should be, so I'm going to use a custom command, and I'm going to just type in Wine and click open. As you can see, that activates the process. So I'm just going to click continue, and it's going to start the Blizzard app. Now we've got a few steps to go before we can actually use it. Okay, so the next step, it's going to ask you where to install it. Leave the default because it's going into your C drive, which is configured within Wine, and that's with the whole Windows connection. So leave that alone. And then this should not take long to install. And by the way, you can see in the system tray the caffeine icon that is now there. And that was because we put that caffeine indicator startup command in through our settings manager. So let's see, this should be popping up a window. Now again, this is sometimes unpredictable because Blizzard makes changes to their installer. Okay, so all you need to do here is put a check mark there. If you don't have a Blizzard account, you'll need to go sign up online. I'm going to sign into my account. And this is the tricky part. Most of the time this is successful, but I've seen times where it wouldn't log in. But we're gonna give it a shot, and it works. Okay, so we're gonna close out this window because it's telling you that it can't find any Blizzard games on your drive, and that's because you don't have any. So we're gonna just close that out, and then you'll decide which games you want to install. Now the ones that I have played successfully are Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, StarCraft, Diablo 3, and World of Warcraft. Overwatch, at this point in time, I don't have the ability to install that. It looks for Windows information from a later version of Windows, and that's not always easy to configure within Wine. So Overwatch is a no-go at this point, but the rest of them should be able to play. And so you'll just highlight the one you want to install and click install. And again, it's going to verify the install location. And I'll click start install, and it's going to start installing the game. And from that point on, everything should work perfectly. So you've got Steam, you've got Battlenet, you've got all your drivers installed, system tray utilities. That should get your Debian install in pretty good shape. You should be able to do pretty much anything. Now if you can see LibreOffice is installed through the Debian default installer, and that's fine. It's a really nice Office suite, so you'll have no issues there. You'll be able to pretty much do anything, and it can also handle Microsoft files. It can handle Microsoft Excel files, Word files, PowerPoint files. You should be able to do pretty much anything you need to do. So your system should be set up pretty well. Now, as you can see, Wine is now in our system, so that's why I brought that up a little bit higher by pulling on this corner. So you've got a fully functional system at this point. Debian Testing. This is the best version of Debian that I am aware of. It pretty much gets you everything that you need. It opens up, because it's the testing repos, it brings in lots more software, lots more drivers. So guys, that is it for this video. This wraps up the Debian series. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care.